Okay, so that was it. Chizoba Mufegbu with her guest, Emmanuel Oyeleke, on expanding the representation of young Africans in sports. Very interesting. So you're still on today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa. Our next conversation promises to bring about a new perspective in the way we view life. And I dare say so. Yes?
Yes, and to help us with answers to all of our queries is a barrister and current district chair and conflict resolution in the Rotary Club, District 9112. He's chairman of Naija Committee Developers Association and for Community Developers Associations. And for over 5 years, our guest has been coordinating the pro bono services to indigent Nigerians in our prisons and correctional centers. Now let's meet Barrister Oladele Ojogbede, who is president Rotary Club of Ikoyi, or who was at a point in time, is a past president here. You're welcome to the program.
Yes.
You know, John has been harassing me. Yeah, he's been harassing since you came to the studio. He's just been naughty.
Yes, and that's the reason.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's go behind the prison walls and see what it's like in there. I want to thank you for joining us, Oladele Ojogbede. It's good to have you on the show. So you're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming.
Great.
And straight to the questions.
Yes.
Okay. You know, given your extensive experience in law and your role in peace and conflict resolution, now how do you perceive the evolution of the Nigerian prison system to correctional facilities over the years?
Thank you. Well, the Prison Act that was governing the prison system prior to the new one was made in 1972. Okay, and it has been on for so many decades. Okay, and you must not forget that the objective of the prison system is first to ensure that they deny liberty to a convicted criminal.
Deny liberty.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody is in incarceration,
it is denied freedom.
So he has no liberty. Okay, but more than that, okay, the objective goes beyond denying the liberty. Part of the objective was to ensure that okay, there is a reform of the criminal, and then rehabilitation into the society. Okay, so and over the years we have discovered that these objectives are not being met. And you know, the prison gets congested, and then the legal system too are unhelpful, and so many problems. So, and this must have informed the idea of changing the name from Nigeria Prison Service to Nigerian Correctional Service. Okay, you know, in 2019, 31st of July precisely, the president assented, the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, assented to the bill changing the name officially from Nigerian Prison Service to Nigerian Correctional Service. And the whole idea behind that, okay, is actually that there is this belief that with the change of name, okay, there will be change of perspective and change of deliveries in terms of output and achievements arising from that sector. Okay, but unfortunately, we've not been able to, because mere change of name has nothing to do. You know, we have to change mindset too.
Okay,
you understand? So
mindset. All right, I would even want to know because you've talked about change of this and change of that. It means that we're moving from one place to another. And that suggests that there are differences. So what are the key differences between a traditional prison system and the concept of correctional facility? What are we changing from?
Okay, good. That's a good question. The part of the differences we have between the old regime and the new regime is that this Nigerian Correctional Service has introduced what you call custodial service and non-custodial service.
Okay.
Custodial service in terms of, okay, offenses in which a criminal has to be in custody. For instance, capital offenses like murder, armed robbery, you know. Then non-custodial service in respect of offenses that are not heavy, you know, type of offenses you could call misdemeanor. You know, maybe offenses carrying about 3 months, 6 months. Okay, you know. So the idea of that one is that the reason why they are not custodial is that they don't need to lock them up after they are convicts, after their conviction. So they will now subject them to community service.
Okay.
Subject them to probation and parole. You understand? And the whole objective was to ensure that there is reduction of the crowd of people in custody. Okay, so that is one beautiful objective. Then the second one is that instead of addressing a potential convict while undergoing trial, instead of addressing him as an accused person in the court, you don't address him as a defendant.
Okay.
So in the court system now, they are referred to as defendants.
So you are no longer the accused.
Not the accused. Just to lessen the perspective of, you know, just to make it more friendly. You know, and I think those are good improvements. But, you know, major problems that the prison system is beset with are still very there, like overcrowding, lack of medical care, poor feeding system, you know, lack of, you know, even possibility of spread of communicable diseases. You know,
because
so
I was actually
those problems are still
getting
there.
there. I was getting there. I was trying to ask you to bring us face to face with the realities that we have
in the presently
in the correctional facilities. You said when the name change happened, it was meant to bring also about some changes in terms of rehabilitation, in terms of better welfare and all of it. Let's have an idea of what is going on in the prison.
Presently now, the prison system has really not changed. Is that what we have really changed?
It's just a change of name.
It's change of name. And we need to go beyond that. You know, and that's why I alluded to the fact that the problem they were confronting prior to the change still remains. Okay, if you visit any of our prison system now, you see a lot of crowd. The food they serve them is so poor. You know, by law, the allowance for feeding is 750 naira or thereabouts
Per meal.
Per meal.
Okay,
700.
and you can trust Nigerians that money will not you know, maybe half of it will end up somewhere else, you know. So you can trust that. Then most of the prisons, they don't have facilities like farms, you know. And I remember that during my tenure as president of Rotary Club of Ikoyi, part of the community service we embarked upon was we did what we call needs assessment by visiting the Ikoyi prison, now Ikoyi Correctional Center. You know, because normally we in Rotary we don't normally just give out items. We need to go and find out what do they need, so that we don't supply them what they already had. Okay, so and we discovered that they needed farms. We bought lots of farms, you know, and we supplied them. And I'm aware too that many NGOs too are also bringing items like food, bag of rice and all that, you know, just to support the system. You know, so, and one of the major problems the system is confronted with is lack of adequate funding. Government needs to go beyond the traditional way of funding to ensure that they are able to get money to fund the system. Okay. For instance, in Germany, they have a system in Germany. Out of the 16 states you have in Germany, 12 of them have promulgated laws that made it compulsory for convicts to be engaged in full job, full employment. Yes.
Within the prison walls.
You know, they have a system. They have a system that takes care of that, so that, you know, they are fully working. like normal people, and they supervise them. So so now in Nigeria, if we are going to introduce such kind of system, we could do it in such a way in which 25% of their salary can go back to the system to improve the prison.
So you take a prison from the center out to the workplace. Is that what?
So what happens is that once a convict has been convicted, if it's not capital offense, then they give him freedom to work and they monitor him. He need not be in prison.
He doesn't have to be in prison.
Yes, they monitor him. Then so he's earning, then he's making contribution to society.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So if we adopt that kind of system here, we'll be helping likely to reduce overcrowding, which is a major problem.
Wow.
One of the reports I read of recent was something that happened in Suleja, Niger State, in April this year, when wall of a correctional center collapsed and about 104 inmates escaped. Investigation shows that correctional center was built in 1914. And it was meant to house 250 inmates, but it has more than 500.
Whoa. Now, you see, what really concerns me now, or bothers me, is rehabilitation. These are centers for rehabilitation, right? And we keep saying that there is no food, there's no medical, there's no that, there's no that.
Then what are we rehabilitating?
What are they? Okay, what really? Because there is budget for all of these things. What are the rehabilitation programs currently available in Nigerian correctional facilities? What are they getting? Let's even determine that and then say, okay, it's not enough. Are they getting anything?
Well, they are getting, presently they are getting some, only that
Like
they are not
what?
enough. For instance, there are some classrooms within the prison system for those who want to study and write exams. Some people do study, register for exam, and do pass, and they, once they finish their tenure of their term, they go for their study. Okay, we've had calls during my tenure as president of Rotary Club to supply even board to the
Writing board,
and some other material to Kirikiri, Apapa president, because we went there, we made an inquiry, what do you people need? And they told us they needed this, and we visited some of their classroom. Okay, then they also have access to some little facilities for exercise. Okay, but we need to do more to get some facilities that will train them, to become more independent when they are out of prison. You can train them in different trade, like sewing, and so many other things.
different vocations.
So that's one other area the government can invest in. So for now, they have limited facilities. Maybe they can play football, and all that. But the real facilities to train them, to make them effective, and to be able to contribute to economies, they are not there.
When you consider the mammoth crowd, the large number of people who are kept there, these facilities may not even go around all of them.
At all.
I'm worried as you're talking. I'm just worried about the mindset, the state of mind of the prisoners. They become somehow, wrongly or rightly, I may not know,
become more hardened.
They've hardened. They feel less than
normal human,
maybe worthless and all of that. Talk to us. You have interfaced with them for a while. What is the mindset, the level of worth that person who is locked up in the prison,
the correctional
the correctional
facility.
Yes.
What mindset do you have?
What kind of person is he or she?
Well, I must be frank with you. Once you are locked up in any so-called correctional facility in Nigeria, you start seeing yourself less of a human being, because there are no toilet facilities. So the situation is so bad to the extent that some do pass feces in their room. Then even share rationing water to use.
This is what we used to hear, like
Yes.
20, 30, 40 years.
Yes,
like,
the system is still there, So and that's why I commend programs like yours to draw the attention of government to look more pragmatically and ensure that they do something more tangible. Apart from just sitting in offices, big offices, and changing law, we need to. Of recent, I read a report that says that the current president of Senate was making jest of escape of prisoners. That since they changed the name, more people, inmates have escaped. That's good. The problem goes beyond that. You need to make the place even more attractive to them. We do see on our TVs and through DSTV, some of the correctional centers we see abroad.
Outside of this country.
You see them, they look like, some look like a banking hall itself. Yeah. And they treat people, you see them, they serve them with food, you see facilities for training. Some come out of prison and become superstar. Sure. I remember the story of Mike Tyson. Yeah. It was a public knowledge that Mike Tyson was in prison before he became a superstar, come out and started making millions of dollars. So that mindset needs to change.
It needs to change.
We need to change our mindset.
I want to, let's even get out of the prison. Let's get out of the let's walk through the prison, out of the prison door now.
Okay.
And let's look at you, as chairman of the Aja Community Development Association, and also president of Ekiti Parapo Association in Nigeria. How do you think communities can play a role in supporting correctional system and reintegrating former conviicts?
Okay, thank you, John.
So you haven't walked out of the correctional center? Not totally.
I put one leg out.
One leg out, one leg in. Well, it's a good question, really, because whether we like it or not, government alone cannot do all. Communities have to do, and that's one area in which I will commend a lot of NGOs. A lot of NGOs are actually doing a lot to support the prison system and ensure that there are facilities in terms of donations, and then even rendering of pro bono services. For instance, my club, Rotary Club of Ikoyi, just like John mentioned, for the past 5 years we have been doing pro bono services. It's some form of collaboration between my chambers and the club.
And you have been able to get some
of them out. We have gotten so many people out. Within the last 1 year alone, we got out more than 10 inmates. So cases did not go on as supposed, and we were able to impress the court. Because most of the problems the awaiting trial do experience is lack of proper, apart from representation, which is one of the problems, lack of proper prosecution system. Many, more often than not, the prosecution will come to court to inform the court that, my lord, we are not able to contact our witness, or that our witness had promised us he will be in court. We are surprised we are not seeing him. Maybe he was held up in traffic. Oh my lord, in fact, we are still trying to track the witness, and without witnesses, cases cannot be prosecuted. I must commend the court system because, based on my experience, most courts now are a little bit more lenient when it comes to the liberty of awaiting trial. Because some courts will tell the prosecutor that if by next adjourned date you have not produced your witness, I'm going to terminate this case. There are times lawyers will appeal to court that, my lord, this case has been hung for the past 2 years, 3 years, and my client has always been brought from prison to court. Yet the prosecution is not ready. So and they will now appeal to court to say the court should make a directive that if by the next adjourned date they fail to produce their witness, and through that, many awaiting trials have gotten freedom. Many awaiting trials have gotten freedom. So the legal system needs to also be rekindled, to ensure that we prevent arbitrary arrests of people by police.
Okay.
Because that's also contributes to congestion of prison. Because when the police arrest people for wandering or for flimsy offenses that you can hardly prove. You understand? Maybe you see somebody with computer or laptop, or you just say automatically, when there is no particular indictment. So when you arrest people and then you try to subject them to extortion, and they don't have the money to give you, then you say, "Don't worry, I will deal with you if you don't have money." Then you end up in correctional center.
I remember there was a story you shared with us some time back about somebody who was to travel up to the mother's burial.
No, the person, it was in Ondo State.
Yes.
The person was invited from Warri. The junior sister was to deliver, was having delivery challenges. Okay, and there were only 2 children for that woman. And out of worry, this woman called the brother to come, so that you can come and join me in seeing this problem through. The guy traveled from Warri, got to the Ondo State town, nearest to the mother's location, in the night around, let's say, about 8:30. Unfortunately for him, some robbery had just happened around that vicinity. While he was waiting, when he disembarked from the bus and was waiting for a bag to take him to about 3 streets away, where the mothers. So the police who were coming from the robbery just saw him and picked him. So because they were ready to pick anybody, and merely seeing by the road. And when he was taken to station, he told them that, well, I just left Warri this morning for this purpose. He was asked to settle. He didn't have money to settle. Oh, right. He ended up being presented as the robber. He was presented as the robber, and the case lasted for about 3-4 years. He was in prison. So eventually, unfortunately for the mother, the sister died in the course of the labor. The baby lost the mother. The mother. Okay.
And then the son too.
The son too under incarceration. So we took up, under the collaboration with Rotary Club of Ikoyi, we took up even though the location was far, but the matter was brought to our knowledge, and we went there and we kept on going to, at least I must have traveled to Akure for that case for close to about 5 times. But as God will have it, the case went through full trial. And the judgment was favorable to us. The man was discharged and acquitted. And the judge made the comments in his judgment that, but for the vigilance of the defense counsel, who raised certain issue, this guy will have gone for this case. And the issue we raised was that there was a police investigation in the first police station. He wrote a statement. By the time he was now taken to special anti-robbery squad in another department, he was made to write another statement in which he was compelled to confess to the crime.
Wow. And
that was the second. It was the second statement they were now using to prosecute. We now told the court that there was a first statement where the guy stated the exact thing that happened. And I asked the police witness who was in court, are you not aware that this man was already in one station and had written statement? He said he was aware. How come you did not bring that statement? So the court now compared that statement must be brought, and it was on the basis of that statement that he was set free.
Wow.
See?
Wow. As usual, time is totally well spent.
Yes.
And this is a conversation that we can have on and on. Because anybody can fall a victim.
Exactly.
And your final words, just like an advice to the general public on what can we do to assist government and how individuals can avoid the kind of scenario you just painted.
Well, my final word is this. First and foremost, there are lots of big organizations within the societies who are declaring billions in profit, especially the banks. The government can find a way of summoning all the MDs of this bank and say, we are not comfortable you declaring hundreds of billions every year. And you are not rendering sufficient social security, social responsibility services, it goes beyond merely decorating the streets that leads to your, we know what happens in Ajose Adogo when Zenith Bank turned the place into mini, especially during the Christmas period. That they should commit a portion of their resources or their profits
to affect the lives of Nigerians.
Yes, let's say 5% or 2.5%. When you declare 100 billion profits in an economy where other people are not making profits, then please give us 2.5% to support the prison system. Yeah. Then we can also adopt the German system of ensuring that the inmates, especially convicted inmates, are rendering services to impact the economy. Then the individual also needs to be conscious of their rights by making sure that they are not too far away from their lawyers.
That is
so that when you have challenge, quickly call your lawyer. This is what I'm facing. What can I do?
That's
just like go for medical checkup.
I wonder how many of us have lawyers.
Then we also need to sensitize the police. We need more civilized policing system. The policing system in Nigeria has actually collapsed in the sense that day in, day out, you go out and you see police checkpoint and they are telling you, "Okay, how are you doing?" It's like they are there to greet you. Your boys are here. Are you not going to drop something for us? Okay. You understand? Yeah. We need to. There's a lot to be done. Lots of work to be done. Can you imagine offering money to a police in London? You are reducing him. You can end up in their own correctional center. Okay. But here it is the other way around.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, not much is left to be said. I mean, with your extensive experience and the information you have given to us, you've painted a very graphic picture of what obtains, and we hope that things change for the better.
I hope so.
Because the question is what has changed. So we're looking forward to that change. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so different levels of challenges and difficulties, and I guess life is full of them, So I want to thank you for your time and your insight in coming on to this show. Yes.
Okay, thank you once again. The show will wind down in a few minutes. That's after the nugget from for those who are aspiring to be better in public speaking. Courtesy, himself.
Thank you.
You have 1 minute.
I have 1 minute. Okay, so my nugget today is this. Are you looking at the scoreboard instead of watching the game? Are you looking at the scoreboard instead of watching the game? So you see, in leadership, much like in sports, it's easy to get fixated on the scoreboard. That's the metrics, the KPIs, quarterly earnings and market share and all of that. These are crucial, yes, but are you watching the game? Are you truly engaged with your team, understanding the nuances of their challenges and inspiring them to push forward? Leaders who only watch the scoreboard miss out on the real action. The game happens in the trenches, as we all know, where decisions are made, relationships are built, and the culture is forged. Executive speech skills are your playbook. Through clear, impactful communication, you can inspire your team to excel, adapt, and innovate. Your words are not just information, they're catalysts for action. Are you using them to motivate, to connect, and to drive your vision forward? Remember that great leaders don't just keep the score, they make plays. So I want you to focus on the game, not just the scoreboard, and you will find that success follows naturally.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I hope, on that note, that we have been able to inspire, to encourage, and what again did you say? All of those, action words, despite the desperate and difficult times that we're in. Through, someone just said to me that when you are on the road now, be very, very careful, because the drivers are no longer concentrating on where they're going. The focus is on the fuel
gauge.
And that is so correct. On my way from Ikeja here today, I don't know how many times
you checked your fuel gauge.
Yeah. So let's be very careful. This time will pass and we'll be found standing strong and better, to the
Yes.
glory of God.
Amen.
It's been a wonderful show today. I'm Helen Odeleye, and I've enjoyed bringing it your way. John has too, and we'll be back Saturday next week, and we want to believe that you join us then.
Can you put the pillow between us?
No. This okay. So
Put
we
the
keep,
pillow
we'll keep
between
that.
till
So
next week. I'm John Sanaya, and I'm out.
have a good weekend. Bye now.